Welcome to Mother Daughter Projects. I'm Steph.
I'm Vicki.
And today we're going to make a double ladder plant stand with
2x4s. This may look a little familiar to you. That's because 3 years ago we made one with 2 regular sized ladders, but they're not pressure treated and those ladders did not last. So 3 years later, we're putting something new up.
So come join us as we show you how we put this all together, and hopefully it will last a little bit longer here in the Florida weather. Come join us. First, we headed to Home Depot for lumber. We bought 6 dog-ear pickets and 9 pressure-treated 2x4s and a 2x10 board. Here's a quick look at the cuts we'll be making. 8 2x4s will be cut to 6 feet with 15-degree angle at each end. Additional 2x4s will be cut into 12 15-inch pieces and 2 18-inch pieces that will be cut from the 2x10. Here's a quick sketch of what the final product will look like and the spacing that we used and the final length of the fence pickets. We started by cutting the 8 2x4s to 6 feet and put a 15-degree angle at the top and bottom. This was easily done with our miter saw. Then we cut the rest of the 2x4s into 12 15-inch lengths. And all these measurements will be available on our website, link in the description. We like to use the first cut as the guide for the rest of the cuts. Once all the cuts were made, we clamped them together to make sure they stayed nice and straight before we started working on them. Then we unclamped and started to make the first side of one of the ladders. Here we're deciding on the placement of the rungs. We're using a cut-off piece from one of the angle cuts to angle the rungs so that they will be level when standing. You can see the placement we decided on in the graphic at the beginning of the video. We're using Tide Bond 3, which is an outdoor glue, to secure these in place. We placed one side, clamped it for a little bit, then glued the top and clamped it all together. Mom is using a level to make sure the sides are parallel. She's also measuring the distance between the top and bottom rung to make sure it's the same. Then we clamped it down, and Mom made sure to clean up any glue spillage as we need that cleaned off before staining. I used the cutoff piece again to get the right placement for securing each rung with outdoor spac screws. Then we flipped it over and attached the rungs on the other side. Then we checked it out to see that it was all working. Now on to making 3 more. We used the first one as a guide and followed the same process. We already had a piece of 2x10 and cut 2 pieces at 18 inches. Then we made a ladder by attaching this with outdoor spac screws to the top. With the 2 ladders done, we added the fence pickets in place and marked where to cut them down so that they'll fit perfectly on each level. I made those cuts on the miter saw, then Mom sanded them down, making sure to wear the appropriate PPE as this creates a lot of dust. You can see how much better a little bit of sanding does to these boards. And now it's all ready for stain. We did a social media sponsorship with the Home Depot using Olympic Elite Solid Stain, and these are the materials that we used. First, we stained the ladder with Olympic Elite Petrified Wood Solid Advanced Exterior Stain and Sealant in 1. This went on so smoothly and provided just a hint of wood grain. And for the fence pickets, we're using Olympic Elite Midnight Blue Solid Advanced Exterior Stain and Sealant in 1. Which made these $2 pickets look pretty fancy. Time to put it in place. We set up the ladders and placed the pickets on the rungs. We intentionally left space in the middle so water from the plants will just go through and not sit on the wood. To secure the pickets, we're using Spax exterior screws with wafer heads, which make them easy to remove if we need to in the future. Then we loaded the stand with some plants. And here it is, all done. This is definitely an upgrade from the old version and is wonderful to look out my living room window and see this. What we learned! Now you may have noticed in the video I used a little cutoff piece that had the same angle we were using throughout the whole double ladder plant stand, and that was really helpful because I was able to get the exact angle I needed for the rungs of the ladder. So make sure you keep at least one of those cutoff pieces, because I also used it to make sure I got the angle just right for attaching the rungs with screws. And I also put 2 little marks on the jig, so I knew exactly where the screws went, so I had some consistency throughout the whole project.
We had a little precision issue, and we realized that we needed to, when we were putting it together, that we needed a level on each side. We had just used one and then put it on the other side, and we really needed 2 at the same time. So for more precision, 2 levels are needed.
As I said at the beginning, this is a very simple project. It's actually the same cuts on all 8 of the side pieces, and then the rungs are all just 15 inches, and then the 2 top pieces are the same cut. So it's a very simple project. I would say you need a miter saw for this. You could probably do a circular saw, but it'd be much quicker with miter saw. So I'd say this is a very good beginner project.
And since this is going to live outdoors, you need to be using outdoor wood glue, which we did, and make sure your hardware is rated for outdoor use. Now, we use pressure treated wood, and if you've ever gotten pressure treated wood, you know it is very, very wet because they use the chemical, and the wood is treated so it lasts longer outside. But you need to dry it well before you use it, and that's what we did. It probably dried out 3 weeks. I don't know, it was a long time. But we put it in the garage and we lifted up on 2x4s, and I rotated it every few days so all sides are getting dried. And also, it was during the colder weather, so I did have a little heater out there to help dry it out. Now, it does produce a lot of fumes, so we have our air purifier on, and we open the garage door as much as possible. And then when you work with that, make sure you're protecting your skin, your eyes, all of that.
So if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up, and if you really like it, you can give us a financial donation with a super thanks. You'll find that next to the share button. And while you're there, share this with somebody that likes plants, or DIY, or just cool projects. So if you want to see more projects from us, be sure to visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com. All right, see you next time. Bye.